Sorry. It was two Portuguese together. Yeah. Okay, thank you everyone. Now I will give the floor to Mihai, the president.
Okay, thank you. Welcome everyone for the second day of the General Assembly today. We will have the reports, and as you saw in the agenda, there are only 5 minutes for each position. But if you feel that you're still not, like, you don't have your questions answered, or you still have something to ask, please do not hesitate to do so. Yeah, and then I guess I pass the presentation to PC for the roll call, and then I will resume the standing orders.
Okay, Mina, you can the roll call.
AFOP Austria, VPSO Belgium, SAFPOM Bosnia-Herzegovina, BPHSA Bulgaria, CPSA Croatia, SUPSA Cyprus, USF Czech Republic, ANEP France, BPHD Germany, HUPSA Hungary, IPSA Ireland, LPSA Latvia, KDAT and PDAT Netherlands, MPSA North Macedonia, PPSA Poland, APEF Portugal, FASFA Romania, NAPS Serbia, SPSA Slovakia, SHSFD Slovenia, CEF Spain, SNAP Sweden, ASEP Switzerland, UPS International Turkey, BPSA United Kingdom. Now, volume up.
Okay, we have Mina needs to be sorry.
We have 24 voting members present.
That is in standing orders.
Thank you. Now we can proceed with the team annual Congress reports, and we are starting with the administrative department. First point is Mihai Nitsoiu, the president. You can give us your update since you wrote your report. Yes, Mihai?
Yes, thank you, Mihai, President. So since I submitted my report, I checked the sent minutes. I had 2 meetings regarding the IPSF MOU. I attended meetings regarding the EPSA events, mainly the SU20, AA20, AC21, and the bid for SU21. I regularly updated the EPSA calendar. I read the team reports and asked questions. I worked on the documents with questions and answers regarding the 50 meeting reports and delivered this to the LSs. I finished the GA agenda and sent it. I wrote the strategic plan explanatory document. I attended the LS meeting. I organized the team hangout. I also attended the ODs meeting. I wrote the motions proposals and sent it to the executive. I participated in a meeting with Paulina and EHP. I drafted the SU21 contract, and I attended and chaired the 5th team meeting online, and also dealt with other email matters. Thank you.
Thank you, Mihai. Do we have any questions for Mihai's updates or for Mihai's report in general? I see none, so I guess I have Mihai with the technical.
No.
Duarte?
Okay, we just need chairperson to close order 9.3 to motions. On this case, it's just a point of the agenda you can close, SPC.
Okay, thank you. So then I close the floor for discussion and we can proceed to the next point. And that is Mina, the Secretary General. Please give us your update since you wrote your report.
Okay, Mina, Secretary General. So since I wrote my report and submitted it, I have finalized, formatted, and uploaded to the library several OEM minutes. I collected LS and NIMP reports and credential forms, shared the GA package list of documents to the Executive and the Parliamentary Council for consultation, worked on the 14 meeting minutes, shared the 59th GA package and updated it when necessary, attended the OD's meeting, liaised with NATES for alumni access to the GA package, coordinated the meeting secretaries for this online GA, communicated with the PC regarding the GA preparation, and dealt with executive matters.
Thank you, Mina. With this, I open the floor for discussion. I have SHSFD.
Mojca SHSFD Slovenia. What would you say was the reason you couldn't deliver the OEM minutes?
Mina?
Mina, Secretary General. So that was one of the questions on the team's questions to the reports, and I addressed it there. So it was mostly a mixture, let's say, of different factors, because we had like, So first of all, once the delays happened, it was more difficult to catch up kind of with the additional work that came with some additional meetings. And that just kind of prolonged the work on the initial delays. So and then I stated that I should have maybe worked better on the how to say on the like time management and not dwelled too much on the getting them to a certain point rather than working on getting them for review quicker. And yeah, I think that's.
Okay. Next, I have a new point from OPEF.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Dear Mina, first of all, thank you for trying to update as much minutes as you could lately, and also for state which ones were delegated on your report. APEF believes the workload should be revised and, as you mentioned, optimized. We recognize there is no magic solution and it requires investigation and discussion. However, Mihai and PC mentioned the meetings they had with you about the delay minutes and some concerns. I would like to ask you to detail a bit more the outcomes of these meetings and if these meetings help you finding solutions. If yes, which ones? Thank you.
Mina?
Mina, Secretary General, thank you for a comment. And yes, so I had a meeting with Duarte and Mihai where we discussed the timelines, so how to approach the delays at that moment. We set deadlines and we had checkups to ensure we met them. And as you saw by the uploads, I think we made quite a progress. So I think it was beneficial. And yeah, it showed results.
Next, I have a new point from AFOP.
Hello, can you hear me today? Yay, okay. Marlene, AFOP Austria?
I'm sorry, Marlene, we have technicals from both Mina and Duarte.
Okay, just because it will be me, just because the recording is not on, and I will turn on now.
Okay, Mina, was your technical related to the same thing?
The same, yeah.
Okay, you can go on now.
Okay, Marlene, AFOP Austria. Since Mina mentioned the answers from the team meetings and reports, will this document with the answers be an annex to the GA minutes?
I have Mina with a direct.
Yeah, Mina, Secretary General, Mihai already confirmed, but I believe.
Mihai with a direct.
Mihai, President. Yeah, it will be annexed to both the team meeting and the GA because it contains both answers and questions from the team and from the members. And I think now, or we can split it for the members to have it in the GA and for the team to have it in the team meeting. It doesn't matter, but anyway, those will be annexed to either the 50 meeting minutes or to the GA minutes accordingly to the ones that ask the questions. Thank you.
I see no more directs, so we can proceed to Anne France.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Maeva Anne France. Thank you, Mina, for your work on the minutes. I can't remember, maybe I missed it, but at some point of the mandate you mentioned about having a new format for the OEM minutes in order for you to ease the process of minuting. I just wanted to know if it has been implemented or not. Thank you.
Do we have any direct? Paulina?
It's me. It's Mina. Just that I dropped internet on my phone, on my laptop. Everybody's except for Paulina, I think. So we are using her computer. So it's me. Can I go with the direct?
Yes, please.
Sorry.
Yes, Mina, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So Mina, Secretary General. Yes, that was something that started as an idea. But I didn't continue to work on it because I think that it needed a broader discussion and more time. And it's, as I mentioned, it's very difficult to trying to like improve or optimize or change in any way something while still delivering the focusing to deliver the work that is ongoing. I hope that we can maybe revisit that discussion in the near future, and we can also try to see how to approach it, because there were also, I noticed there was also interest of members to get involved maybe a bit earlier than after it was sent to the team and the executive and all of that. So we will try to see how to bring the discussion forward and make sure that everyone's feedback is counted in. And yeah, that's for now.
I have a direct from SHSFD.
PC, Mojca SHSFD Slovenia. PC sent you a concern letter regarding the new format of the minutes. Can you please elaborate what you think about that, and if you see any new improvement in the format?
I will guess that it's Mina with a direct, so please go on.
Yes, it's me. Sorry, I didn't. I realized that I didn't fully respond to Maeva's question, Anet's question priorly. So it wasn't implemented in any way forward. So it was the later OEM minutes were delivered further to the regular, let's say, format. And regarding this question from SHSFD, yes, and I. Read the feedback and I responded to them, and it was, I mean, I addressed their concerns, but I mean, of course we can, this is something that will also be taken into consideration if this is picked up later and shared with everyone who should be involved in the discussion. Yeah, I left not further. Yeah, okay.
AFOP with a direct.
Alina, AFOP Austria. So you're still planning to change or to change the minute of the format of the minute, but just with the feedback from PC and team members in mind.
I have a technical from Dwar. Can you please repeat?
Marlene AFAP Austria, sorry. Are you still then planning to change the format of the minutes, just with the feedback from PC and the rest of the team in mind, or are you just planning to leave it as it was the last few mandates?
Mina with a direct.
Mina, Secretary General. So I would definitely not do anything without with just this first initial draft proposal, because it's not at the stage where it can be implemented for sure. My first step would be to bring this into discussion with the new executive, along with my successor, who I hope to have soon, and then see how we can approach this together, because this is also something that will be even more relevant for the new team if it gets implemented in any extent. So I think we would revisit this during the handover period.
And I will let people write first. I still have a new point from ŠSSFD.
Mojca, ŠSSFD Slovenia. You didn't include the concern letters and emergency meeting with PC. Can you please tell us why you decided not to include that in your report?
Mina with a direct.
Mina, Secretary General. So yeah, there was, I don't know, no specific reason. Basically, it was mentioned in the PC's report. So yeah, I focused on like the minutes and the deliveries and the difficulties around that specifically. I didn't get further signal that it's maybe not appropriate, that it's not there, or initial feedback on the report was not that it was missing, so I assumed it was okay. Yeah, as I said, with my writing of my report, I kind of looked up to how past position holders with the same struggles addressed those struggles, and that is how I did.
Okay, do we have any more comments or questions about Mina's report? Yes, no in the chat. I have a new point from ŠSSFD.
Can you tell us, please, Mojca, ŠSSFD Slovenia, can you please tell us the exact number of the online executive minutes that were written by you, if you know?
Mina with a direct.
Mina, Secretary General, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have the exact number at the moment. As we know, there are some that still need to be released, and I can check on the exact number and let you know once I assess that.
I have Eva HLM with a new point. Sorry, on it. There you go.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Eva HLM. My question is, because I heard multiple times that old position holders also experienced similar issues, did you contact past SecGens to discuss what issues they experienced, and how many SecGens did you contact?
I guess I have Mina with a direct. Yes, Mina, please.
Yes, Mina, Secretary General. So I mostly communicate with my direct predecessor, and I also discussed informally with Eva. Well, this is now weird because okay, I. Beyond that, I usually reliant on the reports, but there have been general comments made even to my report now from the AAB as well. So I guess that this is a concern that is kind of identified, and yeah, that's that.
Now I have SHSFD with a new point.
Moica SHSFD Slovenia. Often the workload of Secretary General gets mentioned. My question is, do you think that the Secretary General is more overworked and has more things happening than, for example, VPs?
Clarification, Paulina?
Mina, Secretary General, I'm sorry, can you just please repeat, because we kind of lost connection in the presenting of the question in the middle, because then I'm not sure if I got the full.
Yes, Moica.
Moica SHSFD Slovenia. Oftentimes the workload of Secretary General gets mentioned, and my question to you is, do you think that the Secretary General is more overworked and has more things happening than, for example, Vice President? If you can evaluate that.
Mina?
Mina, Secretary General. So I think it's very specific workload-wise, and it's very difficult to compare. I think it's high as, the dispersion of work among executive members is quite equal and quite high in general. So that's the only assessment I can make at this point.
I have AFOP with a new point.
Marlene Apopostia, staying on topic of the workload, do you think solutions such as a working group or some other point would be a solution for the amount of workload, especially for big things or extraordinary things like GA and any emergency meetings?
Mina with a direct.
Mina, Secretary General, we didn't attempt something like that, so I am not, I cannot give an definite answer, but I am not sure, how can I say, because the only thing that was maybe discussed earlier was regarding the minutes, for example, involving the PR subcommittee to some extent, but the argument against that was that it would need to be people who are highly involved in the work of the team, and not such thing as a subcommittee or some kind of an external group, so to say. So I don't know. We discuss things, and they have weak points that we come up, but I think we can still look for solutions. I cannot say which exact at this moment, but yeah, that's that.
Eva HLM with a new point.
Yeah, thank you. Eva HLM. yeah, I hear a lot of talk about like solutions and workload. I would very much encourage to actually contact old SecGens from when the SecGen position split from VPIA to actually get the real view of how each person perceived the workload, because not like there have been mandates where all the minutes were delivered on time, and maybe it's best to first discuss this with the old SecGens and hear what they have to say, what tips and tricks they have for the position before trying to now come up with new solutions without the background information.
Now I have Shisufudu with a new point. Sorry, I'll take Mina's direct to this first.
Mina, Secretary General, sorry for the delay, slight technicalities. Yes, of course, we are still to discuss any further steps on this, and I don't think anyone would take any action without, evaluating all the aspects of the issue. So I think we will definitely need to look at this from different angles, not just going forward with one.
Now I have Shisufudu with a new point.
Mojca Šeseveda, Slovenia. In the answers you said that you rarely had to rely on the recordings. I interpreted this as if you had an amazingly good notes, what means that the minutes were more than half done at the end of the meetings. So my question is, because I'm not understanding this, maybe I'm not understanding this correctly, what went wrong after the meetings? Because if your notes were so good, I imagine that not a lot of time was needed to put them into the minutes format.
Mina?
Yes, as I said, Mina, Secretary General, sorry. The notes would then further need to be formatted and reviewed and comments implemented. This is, yes, for sure, predominantly one aspect of predominant aspect of the workload. Yes, I said that I would have maybe needed to be better with time management. I think that was one of the things that contributed to the delays. Yes, I think that's it.
Shisufudu with a direct.
Mojca Šeseveda, Slovenia. So the minutes were actually sent quite quickly after the meetings to the executive, but they were not reviewed. So actually now they have the written minutes, they just have to review them, or are they typing the minutes at the moment?
Mina, direct?
No, that is only after I formatted them and actually sent them. So notes themselves cannot be directly sent. Therefore, there are some steps before that, before they can actually be sent to the executive for review. And also other minutes, like not just OEM minutes, but GAT meetings and all that. And yeah, as I stated, those did take some time laying on the table, so to speak, being reviewed.
I have nothing else on the speaking list, but I see Shisufudu typing, so I'll wait a bit. Shisufudu with a new point.
Mojca Šeseveda, Slovenia. My question is, do you think it's important for LSs to be informed about what is happening in EPSA?
Mina with a direct.
Yes, absolutely. That's it.
I see NF typing, so I'll wait. Okay. Typing, still typing. Since we have no more points on the speaking list, I am waiting to see if anyone has anything else to add. ŠSSFD with another direct.
Yes, Mojca, ŠSSD Slovenia. The reason why I'm asking this is because all the time now that the OM minutes are coming to the LSs, it's always, yeah, you have the minutes now, you have the minutes now, and I have a feeling, I had a feeling at one point that they don't see, or you don't see the priority of the online executive minutes to be delivered to the LSs for us to actually understand what is happening in EPSA.
I have a 9.3 proposed by Anne France, seconded by PPSA Poland. I open the floor for discussion. I have Mihai with the technical first.
I close the floor for discussion.
Okay, then we shall proceed to the voting procedure of the 9.3. Anyone against? Oh no, sorry. I will draw a line and write your vote for, against, or abstain for the 9.3. We are voting on stopping the discussion. Okay, we have 24 votes for, 9.3 was carried unanimously. We shall proceed to the next point on the agenda. And this is Camber, the treasurer. You can proceed with your update since you wrote your report. Yes, Camber.
Hello, Camber, treasurer. So since I wrote my report, I mostly worked on the financial documents and documents related to GA. I audited the financial documents of SU19 and AC19. I requested amendments on the reports and contacted their treasurers. I had a meeting with the audit committee. I drafted the budget according to the anti-gift law in France, presented the financial documents at the GA preparation meeting, and followed up on the EPSA debt to AA 18 RC, and now I'm happy to say that it is settled.
Thank you, Camber. With this, I open the floor for discussion. I have APEF with a new point.
Inês, APEF Portugal. APEF just wants to congratulate you for the way you deal with everything about the membership fees, and also to be really available and responsive to all of my emails. So thank you so much for your work.
Camber says thank you with a direct, and I see general agreement. And with this, I will close the floor for discussion. Next point, we will start with the Internal Affairs Department, and the first is Bernardo, the Vice President of Internal Affairs. Bernardo, you can start presenting your updates since you wrote your report. Yes, Bernardo.
Okay, so I will read you my updates. Okay, so I finalized the LS survey analysis, sent it to the team, and started working on possible action points. To explain, I want to propose some actions for the future team based on these teams' interpretation of the LS survey analysis and on my own as well, so that we not only take the feedback, but we also have some actions to put in practice afterwards. I answered questions about individual member applications. I answered questions about EPSA memberships from Turkey, Armenia, and Greece. And the Turkey situation that we will be tackling after the GA, because this is not urgent since they want to apply and they can only apply for the next GA, which will be in November, so we still have some time. I welcome the new LS from NOPSA and SAFPUM. I even had an online meeting with the LS from SAFPUM. I promoted the EPSA meeting members online and hosted one meeting with AFOP and one with HUPSA. I attended meetings with all the current RCs and with the SPSA Slovakia proposed RC for the future SU21. I read most of the team's report, facilitated a meeting with the LSs, had a meeting with my buddy from Ukraine and my buddy from Albania, mostly about the GA. I followed up on the Congress final report for AC19, AC19, AA18, AA19, and SU19 with ANE. Followed up on ISPA and YPAA Armenia and had a meeting with the YPAA Armenia president. They still do not have an LS, but we are working on restructuring their association with the help of EPSA, and we actually managed for them to attend the GA yesterday. I still didn't confirm if he's here today, but hopefully yes. I attended the team hangout and organized an LS hangout. Yesterday we also had an LS hangout, and I planned this about this GA. I attended the OD's meeting. What else? I supported the LSs with Adobe and GA.
You dropped out after LS hangout.
Can you hear me?
Dropped out after LS hangout. If you can repeat after that, it would be awesome.
Yes. So after the LS Hangout, I contacted the HLMs. I attended the EPSA online GA. I answered the questions about my reports. I contacted the HLMs regarding the GA and started working on their information storage. I attended the OD's meetings. I supported the LSs with Adobe and GA Logistics, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Bernardo. With this, I open the floor for discussion. I have KNPSV.
Yeah, that's it.
We cannot hear you. Nope. Okay, we can still not hear you. What? I heard something.
Can you hear me now?
Very, very low in volume.
Okay. Shall I type otherwise?
Now we can hear you. Please proceed.
Okay. Kathy, KNPSV, the Netherlands. Is there any news on the status of Armenia? Will they stay in EPSA as you stated in your answer sent to the LS that you would meet them in the beginning of May?
Bernardo?
Can you hear me from here? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I had a meeting with the Armenian president because he is, as I said, restructuring the association and they don't have a current LS. They really intend to stay in EPSA and they are eager to start participating in some of our projects such as Twinet and even some trainings and online trainings. They basically just don't have the structure yet to be very active in EPSA, and they have struggles with traveling to the center of Europe. But we are currently working on it. I had regular meetings with their president, Gore. He's also attending the GA
so that he knows a bit better about EPSA. And I just explained to him, I had a meeting with him explaining exactly what the tasks and what is expected of DLS from their country. So they should have some sort of elections soon, and they will inform us as soon as they have an LS so that we can welcome them to the group as well, so that they are more and more integrated in EPSA. But I foresee that they are really into staying in EPSA now, and that if we follow up on them, it will work out.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I have KNPSV with a new point.
Can you hear me? Great. Eline KNPSV Netherlands. I was wondering what the current situation regarding Italy is, because in your, I guess, answers to the reports, you stated that they're currently working on the structure of the association. Is there any news or updates?
Bernardo?
Okay, so regarding Italy, they simply, since we didn't know how the procedure about the GA was going to be, and we didn't figure it out on time for them to prepare an actual application for EPSA members, they weren't able to do so for this GA, but they accepted the EPSA executive's proposal to propose to the GA so that they would pay half of their debt to EPSA, and the other half would be paid through organizing events with EPSA. So this would be some sort of proposal that we would have to do and be accepted at the next GA, because they will only be able to apply once again in November, hopefully. But they are also eager to join EPSA. They have all the information necessary to provide us with an application, and I will make sure that my successor will follow up on them to be sure that we have this application by the next GA.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions or comments on Bernardo's report? I have SPSA.
SPSA Slovakia. So Bernardo, I would like to thank you on your work you have done throughout this year, for your support and bringing ideas how to meet our students, even when our career days was cancelled due to COVID-19. You came up with the idea for EPSA meeting members online, which was a big success. So thank you once again for your amazing work and for engaging the LSEs.
Do we have any more questions or comments? I see none, so I close the floor for discussion, and we shall proceed to the next point of the agenda. Nate Sklopčić, Alumni Coordinator, please give us your updates since you wrote your report. Yes, I will read after you type. Since the submission of my report, I started working on the EPSA alumni survey, which I plan to send out in the next weeks with my successor to set a good course of work for the next mandate in EPSA alumni engagement. I was reading the reports, shared them with EPSA Alumni Advisory Board, and collected their input. When answered, I also informed AAB about it, and they could see the answers to their questions. I also answered the questions that I received from the LSSN team. I shared the GA package with the alumni group with the help of our Secretary General Mina, and kept them updated in regards to the procedure throughout the past 2 weeks. This includes elections, questions from their side, how it would be possible to follow it, making a WhatsApp chat for alumni who are actively participating, etc. I was also answering alumni questions on everything in regards to the GA, reports, EPSA events, etc. Further, I was in contact with Milan Sergovic, EPSA alumni, to discuss the technical updates on the alumni platform, I guess you wanted to write, but it stopped there. Is there more, Nate, or this is it? We are making a progress on a few levels, so if it all goes well, we could have a platform for alumni to interact better amongst themselves and follow EPSA by the end of this/beginning of the next mandate. Alumni Challenge took place where alumni were encouraged to share pictures from past alumni weekends to honor the alumni weekend in Lyon. We unfortunately did not get a chance to enjoy. The turnout was quite good, so I am satisfied with the initiative. I also updated EPSA alumni database. We have 241 members at this moment, and put together a group of alumni to help Paulina with EPSA IPSF MOU. Is this everything, Nate? Okay, with this I open the floor for discussion. Do we have any questions or comments for Nate's updates or for his report? I see none, so I close the floor for discussion and we can proceed to the next point. Anne Smith, Events Coordinator, please give us your updates since you wrote your report.
I organized and hosted meetings with the RCs of AC20/21, SU20, AA20, which were mostly about cancellation, postponement, and other concerns regarding the coronavirus. We had meetings with Slovakia, who is bidding for the SU21. I worked on the registrations infographic. I had contact with the RCs regarding the GA. I collected the GA team meeting updates and chairperson/financial reports. And I read the team meeting reports and answered the questions to the reports.
Thank you, Anne. Are you done with the updates? Oh, sorry for the mispronunciation, and I open the floor for discussion. ŠSSFD?
Mojca, ŠSSFD Slovenia. In your report, you have not mentioned your communication with EPSA executive and RC during the cancellation period due to COVID-19. So can you please evaluate and describe the communication during that period?
Anne?
Yes, thank you for the questions. Actually, the communication from my side, it was quite good. Oh, Anne Smith, Events Coordinator. It was quite good. We created a group chat to have direct communication between the RC and the executive and me, in which Nate was also added to be able to contact the alumni. We had an email thread and I was trying to organize as many meetings as possible together with also Mihai and Bernardo. I hope this answers your question.
Bernardo?
Yeah, Bernardo VPIA. The communication, as Anna was mentioning, with all the RCs and also with the bid from Slovakia went very smoothly, and it made it way easier to tackle the situation. So thank you to the RCs on this note, to be adaptable to what we needed to do during this pandemic period.
Do we have any more questions or comments for Anne's report? I see none, so we can proceed to the I close the floor for discussion, and we shall proceed to the next point of the agenda. Sid, the chairperson of the 44th EPSA Annual Congress. Please give us your update since you wrote your report.
Yes, hello everyone. Since I wrote my report, we continued with the whole RC work done after the cancellation of the AC20, mainly with contacting all the partners, the suppliers, etc., to see how we can tackle this with them. We had extensive discussions, especially with the hotel, to find a solution with them, and we reached more or less a solution last week. We are just waiting for the contract to go further with the next team. We also had a meeting with the EPSA executive to see how the things would evolve. We also started the handover period with the next team in order to allow them to directly start to work as soon as possible. We conducted with the treasurer a review of all our finances in order to prepare all the documents to be shared this year or next year with the EPSA team and the audit committee. And basically that's it.
Thank you for your updates. I open the floor for discussion. AFOP.
Marine, AFOP Austria. Thank you for your extensive report. However, AFOP is concerned with this report, as well as the answers that have been given in written form during the 5th meeting, where some concerns have already been raised. The language is in parts impolite, sometimes the tone of the report is inconsistent, and there are some major accusations against the EPSA executive. While we understand that past grievances need to be addressed in order to prevent such misunderstandings in the future, we feel the report should have mentioned the extensive measures taken before AA 2019 on both sides to solve these issues, and this should have been reported more clearly. This way, it would really be a document to guide future RCs and teams if any problems occur.
Next, I have a new point from Eva HLM.
Yes, Eva HLM. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I was president 2018-2019. So I would like to provide just a brief statement on the report on behalf of the executive and the team 18-19, because there have been certain facts stated in regards to our work. It's not our wish to start a big discussion, but as when accepted, this report will be stored in the EPSA archives. We kindly ask for this chance to present further information. As Marlene already mentioned, the situation was already addressed in the email sent to the LSs before the 58th GA, and I would like to state immediately again that we admittedly did not have good communication in the beginning months after the RC election, but the executive stepped in around March 2019 and both sides publicly stated that the communication improved. I apologize on behalf of my team for the mistakes I had already apologized before, and I apologize again. With this statement, we in no way wish to say that everything was done perfectly by the EPSA teams. However, we believe the hard work put into organizing this event should be acknowledged. In terms of some of the claims relating to the educational program itself, the executive did wish to propose narrower topics. However, after multiple discussions, I hear something in the back. I'm sorry. Is someone else talking, or should I continue?
Go on, please.
Okay. So yeah, the executive did wish to propose narrower topics. However, after multiple discussions with the RC, we did propose broader topics that the RC was happy with. An initial symposium program was also proposed by the executive very soon after the topic selection, which was, I think, around April, but I do not have access to those emails anymore, so I cannot check. And multiple meetings were held to try and find an agreement. We could go on and go on about this and discuss all the details, but we do not feel this will benefit the GA or EPSA at this time. However, if you feel the need for more information, we are happy to respond to any questions. We can point fingers at each other, but everyone makes mistakes. What matters is how you work on fixing them and preventing them in the future. As Marlene again already said, several changes were already implemented, such as meetings before the RC appointments to make sure everyone is on the same page from the very beginning. All of these approaches were a result of discussions within the team and with different RCs. For more information on what was done to improve the situation, I invite you to look for an email called EPSA Events Developments that was sent to the LS group in October 2019. Before concluding, I would also like to acknowledge the work done by PC, Parliamentary Council 1819 and 1920 to help solve the disagreements and implement beneficial changes. We hope these changes and the lessons learned lead to effective organization of future IPSA events with the teams and RCs working as a cohesive unit, as all sides only wish to organize the best possible event for IPSA members and IPSA itself. We remain available to constructively discuss any further changes to achieve these, should the Team 2021 feel the need to implement any new changes, as IPSA should always learn from past experiences. We will conclude this by saying thank you to everyone that worked hard to bring IPSA forward, including the RCs, the teams, the members, and the alumni, as we all play a big role in this association, and we look forward to what the future brings.
Sid, is this a direct to what Eva said?
Yes.
Go on, please.
Thank you. First of all, I have to say that this report, when I wrote it and we wrote it with the whole RC, was meant only to be as constructive as possible and as exhaustive as possible. We didn't point any finger on the work of anyone. We didn't say anything regarding persons, if it's a team 1920 or 1819. The purpose of this report is to say and to settle and to list all what happened during this collaboration regarding the IPSA 80-2020, not more, not less. I think that we can see that a lot of things already was implemented in the IPSA regulation and in the IPSA work due to all the unfortunate situation we had. We felt that we had to write exactly what happened in order to make people understand why things was done like this and not another way. And I think and I believe that this is the first goal of a report, just to report what happened with a very exhaustive way. And this is exactly what we did, no more, no less.
Thank you, Sid. Do we have any more questions or updates on Sid's report? I have Alpha Pita Direct.
Malina, Alpha Tokyo. You mentioned that you report what happened, but in this report we are missing the meetings with the PC and all the meetings with the exec and all the facilitation that happened, because we really do believe it would be beneficial for future misunderstandings if those come up, to know how to handle them.
Sid?
Yes, basically I completely agree with you regarding that, and that's why in different points in my report I wrote that we were happy to see how the things at the end evolved, and that's why in all my report from the beginning to the end I had a part from the beginning and a part for the end. Yes, and I can say it here and it's minuted, so it will be official also. The communication went great, but at the end, from the beginning to the end, yes, a very long process was made. We discussed about this process already in Croatia, and we can continue this discuss it now for sure. That's why it's already mentioned that the communication went better, and yes, for sure, this went better after meetings and meetings, for sure.
Okay. Do we have any more questions or comments on Sid's report? Mihai, President.
Yes, thanks, Mihai, President. I also have statements from the executive, and I will read it. The website and some accusations that we observe and we want to point out. Regarding the accusation, we observed the following ones that we would want to clarify. We had a major issue with the subject proposed to ASGP without our knowledge. This was the quote. And we want to clarify that the executive is in a position to propose such things as they are in charge of the association. Again, And also another quote. Here I am calling to talk about the role of the Vice President of External Relations in looking for the AC partners. Indeed, this is one of the missions highlighted in the external portfolio, but today is done in a way which just limits the RCs by having some partners having contracts with EPSA and not with the RCs. And the executive believes there is no limitation in between EPSA RC. The best example is SU RC, where we managed to set MSD local partnership. It needs to be discussed and solved case to case. Sorry. Also, on the not appropriate language, we observed the following: everything was a source of problem and de-evaluation. This was the quote. Another one: this was a big source of misunderstanding and conflict that we spent several months fighting, keep hammering. And another one: EPSA imposes the workshop in the others. And again, there are no sides. EPSA RC, the events are in the common effort of the EPSA team and RC. We therefore would want SID and the RC to revise those paragraphs containing the inappropriate language for the report without changing the perception of the matters, as that was the RC's one, the collaboration, we respect their view. Furthermore, we would ask to remove all the statements that refer to the period before the 16th EPSA AA, as this is not the place to address them. The 50 meeting report refers to the period after the Autumn Assembly. The RC can address those in the final report of the 43rd EPSA AC, as I want to clarify that in this report, all the members of the RC, being them current or past, can express their vision of the collaboration through the period. Also, to make everything clear, we are proud of the work of the RC, and we congratulate them on that, as we are also acknowledge the fact that communication was not the best all the time. However, we'd like to have the report stored properly with the proper language in the archives without altering the vision of the RC.
Next, I have Sid with a direct.
Yes, Sid, I would just take the right to answer to all what Mihai said. I think that I can. Regarding what happened with IESGP, what we meant by saying without even consulting the RC, it's written in torso that before confirming any subject, etc., we have to be aware of it. It's just to be aware of it, and we didn't even have been aware of it, which caused at the end, which would cause at the end big issues for us in France because it was very sensitive. That's all. But I'm saying, and I said in the report that at the end we agreed, fortunately. Regarding the external portfolio, basically the EPSA, and I think that all the LSs should know that organizing a Congress, it's a quite complicated matter for sure, and that we are here as EPSA, RC, and executive and coordinator in order to help everyone, including the AC, with the partners EPSA has. Okay, for the moment, all the money EPSA has go directly to the EPSA treasury, and I have no problem with it, but at least help us with some partners here in France, as you did, as you said, for the SU. I would be, and we will be next year also very happy to see MSD helping directly the RC, especially when the Congress is organized in a very expensive country. Regarding what I said with the problem, deviation, double quote, etc., this is just what happened, and I didn't add anything more than what happened. It was just a description, no more. And regarding the fact that I wrote it in this report and not in the other one, it's basically because it's the only official report the AC20 RC has. Since this unfortunate situation, the final report, because AC20 was cancelled, and this is the only press ourselves in order once again to move forward EPSA and to avoid this kind of things happening again. Thank you.
Now I have Anef with a direct.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So Joanne, Anef France. So to add to what Sid said, we think that it's unfortunate that this matter hasn't been discussed in the team meeting, as it may have allowed everyone to discuss its concerns and to, if needed, make some adjustments on Sid's report. So,
we have any more questions or comments on SID's report? I have a clarification from AFO. Can you please repeat?
Yeah. So, can you repeat? So to add to, yeah, sorry, Johan and ANEP France. To add to what Sid said, we think that it's unfortunate this matter hasn't been discussed in team meeting, as it will may have allowed everyone to discuss its concerns and to, if needed, make some adjustments on Sid reports.
Do you have any more questions or comments on Sid's report? I close the floor for discussion. Next, we shall proceed with the educational department, and first position is the Vice President of Education. Marco, you can give us your updates since you wrote your report. You have it now.
Hello, Marco, Vice President of Education. So thank you for this, and hello everyone. Since I submitted my 15 meeting report, I had individual meeting with Stefan about next steps in regards to his portfolio and project. I followed up with Anna on online training weeks and TOT plans, so trainers on two. I tackled with Anna an executive raised email by Chairperson for Slovenia on 15th TNT and its own organization. Followed up with Michael on public health matters, so immunization week, mental health, addiction awareness. I had a meeting with Joseph on science projects and next steps in this regard. I created clear handover plan for educational department and shared steps and further tasks. Read and left comments on team reports and answered on questions raised on my 15 meeting report by the team in LSS. Reviewed OEM minutes Mina shared with the executive. Followed up on value-added medicines webinar with Paulina and Stefan that we are going to organize with the help of Medicines for Europe. Investigated platforms for GA and elections with Stefan. Followed up on online discussion forum and supported Daniela and Stefan in this regard. Attended online meeting with the executive and RC of AC20. Had a meeting with Michael and Paulina with EPSA, so psychologists, for public health campaign on mental health and our further collaboration happening later this month. Had a meeting with Paulina and Biogen, and later our personal meeting on next steps with Paula. Followed up on IMP project with ERA and executive, also on GA preparations with executive, and some mentoring project proposals we had within the executive, and IPSF MOU with Paulina in regards to educational projects. Also followed up on mentoring survey for the training project with Anna and the trainers board, and other executive matters and email threads. So that's it.
Thank you, Marco. I open the floor for discussion. I have a new point from APEF.
Inês, APEF Portugal. Marquito, APEF wants to thank you for your enthusiasm, proactivity, and hard work. We were amazed on your availability to tackle some problems we had regarding your department. Your ideas and solutions helped us a lot with projects on your portfolio. I hope you keep this amazing attitude during the hangover period.
Do we have any more questions or comments for Marco's report? I see none. I close the floor for discussion and we shall proceed. Next point is Stefan, Educational Affairs Coordinator. Stefan, please give us your update since you wrote your report.
Stefan Grgic, Educational Affairs Coordinator. First of all, can you hear me, Mihai?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, therefore I will proceed. So since my 15 meeting report, I have contacted European Food Safety Authority and proceeded with the organization of the final educational chronicles. I have contacted Public Relations Department for preparing necessary promotional materials. I followed up on email to your EFP for the collaborative webinar about methodology booklet, wrote the methodology booklet article for EPSA newsletter, followed up on organizing a webinar on value-added medicines with Medicines for Europe, read the team meeting reports, and responded to the questions in the spreadsheet,
wrote the educational advocacy outcomes for annual reception, monitored the organization of online discussion forum, assisted the members of educational department when required, wrote outcomes for the educational chronicles, a total 5 now out of 7, monitored and updated online activity spreadsheet, had a meeting with Marco about the future of my projects and short assessment meeting, evaluated and suggested online platforms as alternatives to Adobe Connect, and currently in process of preparing articles for LEAP based on materials provided by Europharma Jobs, in process of writing an article for Industry Pharmacy newsletter, and drafting methodology booklet, Annex soft skills. That would be all.
Thank you, Stefan. I open the floor for discussion. Any questions or comments on Stefan's report? I see none. I close the floor for discussion, and we shall proceed with the next point. Michael, Public Health and Social Services Coordinator. Michael, you can give us your update since you wrote the report.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Amazing. So since I wrote my report, I followed up on the questions for the team meeting and the GA, and answered those questions as well. I sent out a survey for Mental Health Week input to the member associations. I followed up with Paulina regarding a co-joint public health campaign with EPSA regarding Mental Health Week. I sent out a public health campaign evaluation form for general public health campaigns, and followed up together with the public health coordinators over email. Made Immunization Week evaluation form and sent it to the member associations. I followed up on possible collaboration for Addiction Awareness Week with EMSA and Paulina. I did outcomes on Air Quality Day, Immunization Week, and Meds Disposal campaign, and presented it as well during the team meeting. I worked on the handover plan with educational department and also a personal, more personalized handover plan. Then I followed up with EPSA, Paulina, and Marco in a meeting to clarify what our objective is. I worked on Mental Health Week. I met with Marco and Paulina and how we should proceed further with external collaborations and public health campaigns. And I guess that's it from my side. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Michael. I open the floor for discussion. I have APEF.
Inês APEF Portugal, regarding the question you did to our question, we would like to clarify that we intend you to harmonize the number of materials on the public health campaigns and to reflect on it and maybe talk with your successor about it on the handover period, because in our opinion, sometimes we receive a lot of materials and we like the quality, we like the materials, but sometimes it's a lot and we can't promote all of them because they are not sent in advance, as we were talking about it before. And yeah, it was just to clarify your question.
Michael, with a direct.
Thank you for clarifying this. Yeah, I already thought of this, and I think indeed I'm taking your feedback certainly in consideration, and that's why like I said during the team meeting as well, that we need to reduce the amount of public health campaigns and the amount of materials in general and broaden it up. So yeah, I hope then I hope you can all participate.
Thank you, Michael. Please state your name and position next time. Do we have any more questions or comments on Michael's report? I see none, so I close the floor for discussion and we shall proceed to the next point. Joseph, Science Coordinator, you can give us your update since you wrote your report.
Hello, first of all, can everybody hear me? Okay, good. So Joseph, EPSA Science Coordinator. Since I've submitted my 5th team meeting report, I was working on outcomes from a survey about science projects that was sent to Alice's. The outcomes were presented during the 5th team meeting. I have continuously updated the science blog article covering COVID-19 news. I have been in contact with students and EPSA members interested in writing for Science blog. I also have been in contact with EPSA in regards to joint science project, and we had a meeting in this regard. I sent abstracts for ESSP Volume 7, Edition 3 to UFEBS for proofreading. I wrote articles for EPSA newsletter about ESSP and the news coverage of COVID-19 outbreak. I read the team reports and provided my questions. I sent reviewed abstracts for ESSP back to the authors, and I proofread articles for Science blog that were sent from students.
Thank you. I open the floor for discussion. I see no questions or comments. I close the floor for discussion, and we shall proceed to the next point. Anna, Training Coordinator, please give us your update since you wrote your report.
Anna, Training Coordinator. My updates are I had trainer candidates debrief meetings. I closed the online training weeks and gathered the outcomes from the trainings, prepared them to be shared with the participants. I worked on the trainers on tour, prepared an amended version of it for the executive and shared it with them over email. Also presented the amended version of trainers on tour to the executive during OEM. Announced the amended trainers on tour to the LSs and started preparations for it, and reviewed the mentor-mentee survey that the trainers worked on, and it is in the final stages to be shared with the trainers. That's all.
Thank you for your updates. I open the floor for discussion, and I have APEF with a new point.
Inês, APEF Portugal. First of all, I want to thank you for improving the communication with us. After reading a FASHRA question about the lack of transparency throughout the second half of your mandate and your answer, APEF felt kind of confused about what actually happened. So we would like to listen you and also FASHRA Romania about this matter.
I see no directs, so I shall proceed to... No, we have a direct from Anna, please.
Sorry, my internet broke. Could you just remind me which question that was?
That was a clarification, and state your name and position next time, please. I will drop Juana's comment on this, and I will take APEF.
Inês, APEF Portugal. So first, I was thanking you for improving the communication with us. I really appreciate it. And after, I said that after reading the FASHRA question about the lack of transparency throughout the second half of your mandate and your answer, APEF felt kind of confused about what actually happened. So we would like to listen you and also FASHRA Romania about this matter.
Anna with a direct.
Anna, Training Coordinator. I would like to clarify because that specific question, from what I could read from it, was actually a comment by a trainer, as I've perceived it, because the whole question was about the trainers on train the trainers, because one of the trainers like we have an established way, like a criteria how and for which trainers the event is meant, and trainers on tour specifically is a trainers event. So like other associations name this kind of an event train advanced trainers, which means the event is meant for trainers that have been longer in the pool or more experienced, and and is meant for their further development. What in this case happened was that this year we have also a limited amount of spots, because usually this event is also happening in collaboration, and because we are hosting the trainers in the EPSA house, we don't have that many spots for trainers, but still want to send to this event trainers that can also transmit their knowledge to their mentees, for example. That's why we always give the priority to trainers that are more experienced. And in this case, we had to limit the trainers, because also the trainers that applied for this event this year, like the majority of them, like approximately half, were a bit less experienced, and that's why we had to prioritize.
Do I still have the direct from FSFRM? Okay, you can go.
Oana FSFR Romania. May I read the whole statement of FSFR, since it also answers APEF questions?
Yes, please.
Thank you. We were very dissatisfied to notice continued denial of poorly managed tasks, even at this point of being asked direct questions. Moreover, concerns about misunderstanding of facts and bias on our side were raised by the training coordinator, so we feel the need to clarify how extensive the issues in the trainers pool really were. We have gathered opinions from a very diverse group of trainers, not even from our country only, but from many others, 2 or 3 more. All stated the same. Emails containing open calls were shared late, replies were provided late, outcomes of trainers board meetings were provided late or not at all, promises of hangouts and webinars were not pursued. The TTT issue was in fact a generalized one. Trainers, not only one, felt the need for complete criteria of selection to be shared beforehand, and not for one last criterion to be added together with the final results, which is in fact a very natural expectation in our view. Therefore, we commend Anna's conclusion of stating even the, quote, obvious criteria since beginning. All these difficulties led to a widespread discomfort for many trainers, and we believe it to be detrimental for the training project, so we would ask for more attention and care to be put into the management of trainers pool in the future. And to add on it, the TTT issue was that of the criteria only being told after the final results being announced, and also when free spots remained open after some trainers canceled their participation to the TTT. There was not openly stated that free spots are left until it was very, very late. So yeah, thank you.
I have a direct from Anna.
Anna, training coordinator. I would like to state a few things. First of all, I cannot share the open calls for training opportunities sooner than they are firstly shared with me. In many cases, this meant that the issue was that the training opportunities were shared with me, for example, 3 weeks in advance, which is already late. In many cases, those opportunities were shared with me very, very later than that. And in those cases, I cannot go to the whole pool and announce the training opportunity to everyone, but I need to contact those trainers that are closest to the training opportunity. And in those cases, if the trainers are actually available and aren't busy with school, with work, with anything else, then they actually respond to it positively and they attend the training opportunity. This issue will be solved, as already mentioned in my report and in the answers soon, since the trainers board and I are preparing an LS request form, and you can share your training opportunities with us sooner, through which I still ask you to keep in mind you are aware of when opportunities, for example, as TWINIT and other local congresses are coming up. Please keep it in mind. If you want to have trainings, send the call 4 months in advance. It's better than to send it 3 weeks in advance, because I cannot, in those cases, I cannot guarantee you for me being able to actually provide you trainer. We are still all students, and we cannot afford to travel whenever someone is asking us to. There was another thing I wanted to address. I cannot remember now. When I'll remember, I'll type it as a new point. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I have a direct from Marco.
Marco, Vice President of Education. So I just want to add on this that there are some matters that are not completely dependable on ANA, because they're coming from external parties, as already mentioned. And I think that ANA quite well summed up that when it comes to requests to the training coordinator in terms of the trainings, there needs to be a timely manner in this regard. And we are aware that also Anna is having a lot of things on her own plate. And this is why we also discussed internally on how we can manage and how we can maybe define better portfolio of Anna and the trainers board too, so we can actually cover everything in a better way, and we can provide everything as well to you what is necessary. But as well, from the other side, we really ask you for some timely approach and thought out when do you want to have certain activities within your associations, because that's very, very crucial for us, so we can internally manage it. Yeah, and I later have a new point.
Anna, direct.
Yes, I would still like to add on my answer, because now I remembered. It's to the fact, to the TTT, and why the spots that got free weren't announced publicly. Because first of all, like, the event is meant for advanced trainers, so trainers who have more experience. And out of the ones that were already rejected or were we needed to went through the list again to see who would be still qualified enough to attend the event. And another thing to add here, I got cancellations like a day before the event, or on Monday, and on Friday started the event. If I wanted to make an open call, I would need to have a deadline of at least a week for everyone, to actually assure that everyone would see the email and that everyone would have time to reply, which wasn't the case in this point, and it wasn't manageable. So in this case, what we did was contact people that were qualified personally on either Messenger and so on, and we asked them, are you still available? Would you be willing to travel? Are you still in Brussels, or anything like that? And if they responded positively, which in 2 cases was the case, but later then both of those again cancelled because of other issues, we did try. However, it wasn't possible in this case. Thank you.
Now I have a new point from FSFRM.
One of FSFR Romania.
Sorry, just a second. Marco, what are you referring to? Did you have a direct and I missed it? I don't see it. You'll take it as a new point. Please, FSFR, go.
One of FSFR Romania. Yes, we agree with many things that you have explained, but we would have a recommendation for you in the future. Even if you feel like the opportunity wouldn't be fit for everyone in the pool, you could simply make things publicly and transparent and write an email to all of them and explain how you feel about it, because otherwise this will only lead to frustration and all trainers not being well informed, and then they will be super demotivated. So you could just try in the future to publicly let the calls there and explain everything that's going to happen and all the criteria you will take into consideration, because that way people will be more informed and situations like these could be avoided. Thank you.
Anna with a direct.
Anna, training coordinator. One more thing, just because I'd like to explain this, because I'm aware that LSs, the majority of the LSs are not trainers and aren't aware of this. All trainers, so EPSA trainers and all the other trainers that accomplish another TNT and were added to our pool are explained on the TNT or at the beginning as they are added to the pool what the projects under the training projects are. This means everyone, like, okay, everyone attended the TNT, everyone knows what the TNT is, but we do explain what train the trainers is, and that it's an advanced that it's a project for advanced trainers, and that it is a project where senior trainers and trainers that have been longer in the pool, so trainers that have much more hours than some trainer candidates, are the ones that get the priority and are the ones that we want to motivate with this kind of a project to stay in the pool, stay active, and share the knowledge with the trainer candidates. If any training coordinator were also this event make majority open for trainer candidates, this event would be the same as like a bit of a better version of a TNT, like an addition to the TNT, but it wouldn't motivate the older trainers and the more experienced trainers still to join this event and share their knowledge with each other and try to make each other better. Thank you.
When I had a clarification, she was referring to any kind of activity or open call, not only train the trainers. I want to apologize to KNPSV. I deleted them from the speaking list for no reason, so I will give the new point to them now.
Eline, KNPSV the Netherlands. Yeah, we were wondering if many member associations were interested in your proposal to participate in the online version of the EPSA Trainers on Tour, and how many of them were associations that have little access to trainers in their country, as you stated in your email that it is meant for them.
Anna?
Many associations were contacted. I need to admit this. I think it was around 20 member associations in EPSA that were contacted by me personally. To that specific email, I think responded about, I think somewhere around 10 by now. And I'm like the opportunity is still open for discussion. So for any LS to contact me for the online version of the TOT.
Next, I have a direct from BPSA.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Elena. I got one of those emails for BPSA, and I shared it with my executive board and also a small group of students that I organise personally. Oh, sorry, it's Lauren, BPSA UK. Sorry about that. But I got a really great feedback from my executive and from my the students that I shared it with, that they're really excited for this opportunity because we don't get trainers available in our country that often. So we're really happy that Anna reached out to us like this, and we're really excited to try and organise one online.
Next, I have an F with a direct.
Maeva and France, we were also approached actually by Anna on this. I'm sorry we did not manage to reply yet because I was still waiting from feedback from our students and so on, but they were like super in for that, and considering the fact that we don't have that many trainers available. So yeah, we definitely support this.
I see Anna typing, so I'll wait for a second. Next, I have a new point from Marco, Edu.
Marco, Vice President of Education first. I would really like to thank to LSS for the feedback that is addressed to us in this regard. And I would like to also add a point that Anna and I were discussing about the TTT as a part of the training project. And we know that there are many trainers that would like to be more perfected and advanced in certain topics and to sharpen their skills more. And this is why we are also trying to see what would be the best possible way to have more TTTs or these kind of initiatives and to involve more trainers in this, because we understand that also there is not always room for everyone to attend it because it is just once a year happening in Brussels. So we are also trying to tackle this, and we wish to let you know. So we don't want to forget or omit some trainers that are having enthusiasm in regards to the training project and soft skills. And we are thanking them all for this proactivity and for sharing their knowledge and being also some kind of beacons for EPSA. So yes, that would be from my side, really. Thank you.
Next, I have a new point from FSFR. Dropped. We have nothing else on the speaking list. I have a new point. I have a 9.3 proposed by KNPSV the Netherlands, seconded by MPSA North Macedonia. I open the floor for discussion. ŠSSFD, new point.
Mojca ŠSSFD Slovenia, we would really like to address something before the floor is closed regarding the training.
I have Anna with a new point.
Anna, training coordinator. I believe Mojca is trying to address the same point I almost forgot about as well. It's the thing. It's the that I would like to ask
Anna, we are
for my report.
discussing on closing the floor for discussion or not, not questions related to your report. So please keep it close to that.
Yes, it is about my report.
And we are now discussing the 9.3, the procedural motion to close the floor for discussion.
Okay, sorry.
I see no more questions or comments. Mihai, with a technical.
Mihai, President, I close the floor for discussion.
Okay, I will draw a line. Please vote for, against, or abstain for the 9.3 for closing the discussion on Anna, the training coordinator, and her report. I will give you just a bit more time to vote. If you did not, I will draw a line and then I will count. Any vote under the line will not be counted. We have 14 votes for, 9 against, and no abstentions. The floor was closed. We shall proceed with the next point on the agenda, the External Relations Department. And I will pass the facilitation to Zafer.
Hello, everyone. Next, we have External Relations Department on the agenda. So first, I have Paulina. Can we please receive your updates? Paulina?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry. Paulina, Vice President of External Relations. Since submitting my report, I was in contact with the executive for endorsement of the IPSF IFMSA call for action. I had a meeting with Biogen and Marco in regards to possible partnership. I worked on updating JobShop with a couple of job offers. I was also working on posting of press releases for the MOUs And then I also had a meeting with EPSA and Joseph about the Joint Science Monthly. I had a meeting with EPSA in regards to a joint campaign with Michael and Marco. And then I had a meeting with EIPG in regards to continuation of EPSA EIPG projects. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments or questions for Paulina? Anyone? If not, I need someone to close the floor. Okay. 9.3 proposed by KMPSV, seconded by Shusvade. So I open the floor for discussion on the 9.3. I've closed the floor for discussion on the 9.3. Wait, I will draw the line here. And you put your vote here. I have 21 votes. Okay, the floor is closed. So next we have Central IMP Coordinator, Technical Draft. Draft. Technical Draft. Okay. Now I have Central IMP Coordinator, Era. Please state your updates to your report. Era.
Hello everyone, ERA Central IMP Coordinator. Since the time that I wrote my 50 meeting report, I had a meeting with the applicant for Central IMP Coordinator. I answered the questions from LSSN team on the 50 meeting report. I attended the GA preparation meeting and also the meeting with the FASA for a new board. I started working and reading documents from the IMP mini team knowledge transfer group. I updated the NIMP survival kit, created a document with suggestions from the NIMP for the action group survey. I wrote the action group sum up and I shared it with Paulina and the NIMPs. I started writing the handover guidelines. I sent an email to Anna with the request for trainers for the NIMP online training. I sent Google Docs with the information about the update of the EPSA website for the IMP section. That was written from the social media and promotion strategy section group and was revised by Paulina and me. I checked the guidelines on how to approach companies without personal contact. That was written by the IMP acquisition group. I wrote the next tasks for the action groups, open discussion with the exec and PC about the pandemic and what the consequences that are for IMP. And I also had a meeting with Paulina to discuss the progression of action groups. And that was all. Thank you.
Any questions or comments for Era? APEF Portugal?
Inês APEF Portugal, first, thank you for your work. I would like to suggest to follow up on NIMPs not only through Telegram, but through email threads too, because sometimes I felt that some information can be easily lost. And yeah, just to let this comment and thank you for your hard work during this mandate.
Era?
Thank you so much, Ines. Yes, I want to apologize that I didn't follow up as much through emails, but that will be changed during the handover period, and we'll send more extensive updates and sum ups through emails. Thank you.
Thank you, Vera. Please state your name and position next time. Any other comments or questions for Era? If not, we are proceeding with the mobility coordinator. So, Krishan, you can go.
Hey everyone, hear me? Okay, Krishan, Mobility Coordinator. Since I have submitted my report, I have released TWINET certificates for Covilia and Marseille from 2019. TWINET certificates for SSFB and Rouen from 2019. TWINET certificates for Bratislava and Novi Sad from 2019. I have also started to clean again the TWINET Facebook group, and I had a meeting with Paulina about the restructure of the Ambassadors and Students Guide project.
Okay, Mihai, could you please change the slide? And then, do I have any comments or questions for Krishan? Ines? Oh, sorry, up of Portugal?
Ines, up of Portugal. Even though you already answered us that you just found 7 NGOs, we would like to suggest you to come up with a list with potential NGOs for your successor to contact, or at least some compilation of all the NGOs contact until now, plus the list you asked LS to share ideas in. We believe there are much more than 7 NGOs that could be interested, and even though we are facing a pandemic period, HMP should be better investigated during handover period. And we really like your suggestion of reflecting on becoming a joint project with other European associations. But this takes time and investigation, and we would like you to have more concrete ideas on how to do it. We hope you can still work on it and optimize this project.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anne-France?
Joanne Anne-France, could you please give us the outcomes of the meeting with Paulina regarding the student guide?
Krishan?
Yes, I think I can briefly tell you what we were thinking to do, and I also have to mention that these suggestions that we made will go to the executive. So what we were thinking about the students guide and the ambassadors will be to link to students guide on ESN website, to check the students guide statistics from our website, maybe to also create a database with podcasts or videos on a student guide with testimonials from different students. And that was it for the students guide. And about the ambassadors, we will possibly have to increase the awareness about the recognition aspects of the Erasmus for pharmaceutical students. We will have to promote more Erasmus internships because they are kind of less known. Moreover, we will have to drop the objective of linking students with university exchange officers. Also, we will have to support Erasmus candidates before they start their exchange, not to overlap with Erasmus Buddy project, but also we will have to build connections with students outgoing on Erasmus guide database. The new ambassador's task will be to organize mobility days, one or two, at the beginning of each Erasmus year, if I'm not wrong. Moreover, to have a mobility day where they will present the benefits that university gain by sending and accepting many Erasmus students. They will also have to organize mobility day in order to get their target group. And that's basically everything.
Thank you, Christian. First, someone from the PR department, could you please check on the live stream? And anyone else? Thank you, Sonia. Anyone else for Christian? Johan says, thank you, great initiative for the Erasmus internships. Any other comments or questions for Christian? If not, we are proceeding with the Professional Affairs Coordinator, Cyprian. Chip? Yeah, you can go.
Yeah, Cyprian, Professional Affairs Coordinator. So since submitting my report, I have followed up on team meeting and GA questions and providing my answers. Had a meeting with Paulina and AAPG to follow up on the collaboration with them. And now for the mentoring project, I prepared certificates for mentees. I hosted the chat with mentees part 1 and part 2. I analyzed the feedback on the mid-evaluation form and prepared, together with Paulina, a draft document and some proposals of changes, which will be shared with the executive and have been shared with the executive. Invited the mentors and mentees to the conclusion meeting, which will happen on the same day when the mentoring project ends, so 31st of May. Decided upon the mentee who will win the best mentee competition. Gathered feedback from a couple of mentors in regards to the project. Liaised with the PR for designing various LEAP medals for the mentees. Drafted with the help of Jegrich Tandy, mentee, a newer version of IDP, which comes with various improvements aligned also with the mentees' general feedback about this document, the IDP. Started the investigation of the potential prize for the best mentee competition winner together with Paulina and other partners. For career page, prepare the content for the launch of the new section, which will be the PhD section. And lastly, and this is like more of a surprise because you will find it out for the first time right now, I'm liaising with PHREE about the potential collaboration for a chat with professionals, having a speaker formula which will provide insight on the topic of pharmaceutical entrepreneurship. And this is it for my updates.
Thank you, Chip. Do we have any questions or comments for Chip? Anyone? Any questions? With Slovenia.
Mojtva Šesesovda, Slovenia, I would like to congratulate you for the work you have done this mandate. I think we can all agree that it was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mojtva. Any other one? If I don't have any other questions, next we have Public Relations Department. So first, Sonia, could you please give us your updates? Sonia?
Sonia, Vice President of Public Relations. Hello, everyone. Since I submitted my report, I followed up on the newsletter and live stream preparations, wrote a press release on MOU with GFEPS and EMPA, followed up on the VR EPSA campaign, as well as on the promotion of other EPSA projects and activities, including online discussion forum, immunization week, elections, mental health week, educational chronicles, team meeting, and GA. Then I published pictures on SmugMug, and together with Anya included them on the website. I prepared EPSA News May edition. I followed up on the podcast proposals and by Miracle. I updated a list of Modo and press release contacts. I updated the names of EPSA member associations to the Wikipedia page, attended a meeting with SU RC representatives, followed up on my coordinator's work and work of the PR subcommittee, worked on all the executive matters, reviewed the minutes, read all the EPSA team reports, asked questions, answered questions, and attended the 50 meeting.
Thank you, Sonia. I open the floor for discussion. Any questions or comments? Anne-France? Maeva, you can go.
Yes, thank you. Maeva and France, we wanted to congratulate Sanya and the whole public relations department, because we've seen that this Monday the public image of EPSA looks amazing thanks to you guys, publication, social media, design, and everything. And the new activity booklet as well looks really, really great. So we wanted to congratulate you on everything. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions for Sonia? If not, I'm closing the floor for discussion. Next, we have design coordinator on the agenda. So, Mela, you can go.
Hello guys, can you hear me? Okay, so from my last report, I created the participation and appreciation certificates for mentoring projects. I prepared promotional materials for the 7th edition of Educational Chronicles, the online discussion forum materials, the immunization week materials, the We Are EPSA materials, call for the next EPSA team, COVID-19 statement infographic, thank you for Facebook and Instagram followers, the last edition, editable edition of monthly dose, the April one, and also the 59 EPSA GA agenda material that was shared today on our social media. And I also delivered the 3rd edition of the newsletter. And that's all from my side.
Thank you, Mela. So I open the floor for discussion. Any questions or comments for Mela? Anyone? I see none, so I close the floor for discussion. Next, we have our IT coordinator. So, Anya, updates, please. Yep. Thank you, Anya. So I open the floor for discussion. Any questions or comments for Anya, the IT coordinator? I see none, so I close the floor for discussion. Next, we have publications coordinator. Yeah, Miracle, you can go.
Publications coordinator. After submitting my report, I have published the module for April, published an article by BPSA, and also proofread 10 articles from EVA on EPSA's history and milestones. Those are my updates.
Thank you, Miracle. I open the floor for discussion. Anyone? Any questions or comments for Miracle? I see. Okay, I see none. So I'm closing the floor for discussion. Next, we have Social Media Coordinator. Mia? You can go.
Hi, everybody. Mia, Social Media Coordinator. After I submitted my report, I continued with the promotion for the month of April and May, which in addition to those already mentioned in my report, included posts for Immunization Week, webinar with Project Immuno, online discussion forum, DIA internship opportunity, EPSA press releases, the 59th General Assembly, and some general promotion of social media channels from EPSA. And in addition to that, I continued with preparations for a summer social media campaign. That's all.
Thank you, Mia. So I open the floor for discussion. Any questions or comments for Mia? 6-0 Slovenia. Nina, you can go. Slovenia. If you're not answering, okay. Are technical, Nina?
Nina Slovenia, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, just to respond on one of your comments you gave in the spreadsheet, and it was to clarify which campaigns we think resulted in spam. Of course, we are mainly referring to Purple Week campaign because those posts were everywhere and they stayed on my feed for a few days. So in that aspect, you certainly reached visibility of the campaign, but I don't think it's the right approach since such situations can often be perceived as spam. And then there were some smaller campaigns, for example, Air Quality Day. However, they had 9 posts a day, but that is also quite a lot. And I just want to say that I've noticed what you've done and how you try to make Instagram look as good as possible. And I really liked some of the designs you used to form certain posts. But following that concept, I would suggest if you have any daily campaigns, you should preferably use 3 posts instead of 9, and this is how you fulfill one row. And I would also suggest to spread the posts throughout the day, so there wouldn't be too many of them at once. Thank you.
Thank you, Nina. Next, I have Mia with a direct. Mia?
Yes, so Mia, Social Media Coordinator. I think that, yes, Purple Week, we tried something that obviously our community didn't love. But if we did not try it, we would not know what would be the feedback. As you've seen, we have not done anything super similar to that. And in addition to other campaigns, I will take it into account. Thankfully, since Facebook and Instagram have merged a little bit, scheduling posts is now available on Instagram as well, which will ease the work of the next social media coordinator since they won't have to be consumed by posting posts all day. But yes, it will be taken into account with further public health campaigns preparation.
Thank you, Mia. Any other comments or questions for Mia? If not, I'm closing the floor for discussion. Mihai, will you take a direct? Oh, technical, Mihai. Will you? Okay, you can go.
Yeah, hi, President. I wanted to ask you if you want to continue with the agenda because we should be finishing based on the agenda in 5 minutes, but we still have. Wait a second. Let me check. I think it's on European Parliamentary Council and Audit Committee left for the agenda. But anyway, we should be taking the start of the election based on torso, even though we do not have anyone for the president position. Because this is how in torso it says that it needs to start today. Yeah, but it might go a bit longer than that, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I wanted to ask if it's okay for everyone. Okay. You can continue.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have European Affairs Department. So, should I take the election of the president first or European Affairs, Mihai? Okay, European Affairs Department, and we have Vice President of European Affairs, Tilen.
Hello, hope you can hear me. So for my updates, the online discussions forum was done. I was doing my PGU matters as an intern here in Brussels. I did my executive matters, including going through the minutes. The policy newsletter was delivered by Daniela and reviewed by me before. I followed up on vaccination plans for 2020, mostly in context of Coalition for Vaccination. I followed up on position from stakeholders in the environment, which was finalized by Daniela. Had talks with PGU in regards to revision of Professional Qualifications Directive. Talked with Daniela about the policy session for EPSA students later on, in the handover period, and also a policy session for our team and also the next team. Poked Camber about the money for the cocktail reception that didn't happen in the European Parliament for EPSA Annual Reception 2020 because we paid for it. Proposed changes to statutory meetings for Erasmus Plus grant due to COVID-19, which were confirmed by the agency. And that was done together with Neja.
Thank you, Tilen. So I open the floor for discussion for Tilen. Anyone? Any questions or comments for him?
Mojca, ŠSSFD Slovenia. Tilen, on behalf of ŠSSFD, I would like to congratulate you for all the work you have done during your mandate in EPSA. It's been truly amazing seeing you grow personally and professionally. You have shown many times what a great leader and achiever you are, yet you still manage to surprise us every time. ŠSSFD and EDI are in full anticipation of seeing you again in our beloved students' room. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any comments or questions for Tilen? If not, I'm closing the floor for discussion. Next, we have grant coordinators. Oh, I close the floor for discussion. So I'm continuing. Next, I have grant coordinator, Neja. Could you please give us your updates? Neja?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, state
Great.
your name and position.
Neja, grant coordinator. Since the submission of my report, I received an email from EACEA about the new criteria for statutory meetings for the Erasmus Plus grant, and the agency gave us the option to replace live statutory meetings with online ones. So together with Tilan and Exec, we created the new plan and submitted it to the agency. We received the specific grant agreement for 2020 Erasmus Plus grant. We reviewed it and Tilan signed it back. The remaining funds for 2019 Erasmus Plus grant were transferred to EPSA. I also investigated some opportunities for grants and awards, but unfortunately I didn't find anything useful. I was contacted by the Untitled Coordinator about the Erasmus Plus grant key action 1 for mobility, so I provided some information about it, and I had a meeting with grant coordinator candidate for the next mandate.
Thank you, Neja. So I open the floor for discussion. Any questions or comments for Neja? Anyone? If not, I am closing the floor for discussion for Neja. Next, we have Policy Affairs Coordinator. So Daniela, please give us your updates.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep, right. Just a second. Right. Since writing my report, I continued working on the pharmaceuticals in the environment position paper together with Tilen. We had the online discussion forum on the 5th of May. I collected the feedback for the first edition of the policy newsletter and started to work on the second edition. Also, I combined the feedback I received and I am planning to implement that in the upcoming editions. I finalized and sent the fact sheet on how EduProfs are chosen in each association. I followed up on the GA and team meeting questions. I also updated the handover guidelines and added specific advice for the next successor. And I also spoke to Tilen about policy sessions for the team in the beginning of next mandate and also during the handover period. That's it.
Thank you, Daniela. So I open the floor for discussion. Any questions or comments for Daniela? APEF Portugal first.
Inês APEF Portugal, we just want to thank you, Daniela, for all your work. We were really amazed on how you manage all the things about EduProf and about your portfolio, and especially now with the newsletter. We were really happy about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinesh. Next, I have Anne France.
Joanne and France. So first of all, we would like to congratulate the whole department for the work done this year. And we wanted to ask you if you think the ODF should be renewed every year, and how do you think you could use its outcomes?
Daniela?
Yes, I think the ODF this year was a bit different than the way we had it last year, and I think it was better. There are some things that we still need to improve in terms of technicalities, but I do think it will be good to have it every year or even more often during the year on different topics. I think it will be best if we have it sooner rather than later after the annual reception and still keep it close to the topic of annual reception. But yes, does that answer your question? I hope it does.
Thank you, Daniela. Johan?
Thank you for your answer. And regarding the outcomes of the discussions, do you think it could be used for the advocacy or also? Maybe it's more for Tilen, sorry, but yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Next time, please state your name and position because you are making my friend mad. Okay, next, Daniela.
Daniela, Policy Affairs Coordinator. Yes, Joanne, I agree. I think we can use the outcomes of the ODF as well. We can either link it to the outcomes of the annual reception if it's the same topic, or we can use it as a separate document. But I think it's really good because the ODF is discussion between students, so we can use these outcomes as something that has come directly from students. So I will definitely have a chat with Tilen and also with my successor to see how we can do that in an effective way for next year.
Thank you. I don't have any new points or directs. So anyone else? Any comments or questions? If not, we are proceeding with the Parliamentary Council. So I am passing the facilitation to Mihai, the President.
Thank you. Yep. So I'm Duarte, I guess. You can present updates. I was waiting for an appointment. Duarte?
Okay, thank you. I will read the update. I released the OEM outcomes. We continue and finalize the GA preparation, the regulation changes, the GA presentation, and also today we received the motions on the deadline. We received 2 motions. Continue the revision of the releasing minutes during this time. We attending the meeting with the RC of AC20. We finalized the preparation of the elections, the open call, the preparation of the nomination.
Duarte, you dropped.
Nomination form, the promotion. We read the report.
Yes, who's back?
I will continue because I think it was missing. Okay. We released the nominations forms. We sent all the GA documents. We attended the IPSF meetings. We attended the meetings with the Slovakian RC. That it was 2 meetings as well. 1 meeting with the chairperson of the AA20. We finalized the GA preparation, and also we hosted and prepared the GA preparation meeting.
Okay, thank you. I open the floor for discussion. Și să vedem.
Mojca SSVD Slovenia. In the answers you said that you didn't follow up with the suspension from office as Mina was still working for EPSA. Do you think there should be some kind of regulation for this that would allow PC to suspend someone from the office if they're not performing certain % of their work?
Duarte?
Thank you for your, Duarte, parliamentarian, thank you for your question. No, I don't think that, because for that we have the executive and they already have that power.
Duarte?
Parliamentarian, just to compliment, the PC position, it's the last one, the last supervisor, and that's why I think on this case we have regulated what will be the decision of the executive. This I want to clarify a bit. Yeah.
Are there any more questions or comments to Duarte's updates? To PC updates? Sorry. If not, then I'll close the floor for discussion and I pass the facilitation back to PC.
Thank you, Mihai. So next we have Audit Committee on the agenda. So technical, Duarte. Duarte, if you're speaking right now, we can't hear you.
Okay, we need to vote on the motion. It's still Mihai facilitating.
Okay. Then I will read the motion. The 59th EPSA General Assembly accepts the Parliamentary Council Annual Congress Report 2019-2020. I open the floor for discussion on the motion. I close the floor for discussion on the motion and we will proceed to the vote. I will draw the line. Let's start typing because okay, then I'll draw the line and please cast your vote. I'll wait one more second, then I'll draw the second line and count the vote. There are 24 votes for. The motion was carried unanimously. I pass the facilitation to PC.
Thank you again. Next, we have Audit Committee on the agenda. So, Janine or Nico? Janine?
Hi. The updates. Since submitting our report, we have audited Conscribo until April and looked at the amendments Cambo made. And we started and audited the financial reports and the financial balance reports that are going to be presented during this GA. And we audited the financial report of the Summer University 2019 and the Annual Congress of 2019.
Thank you, Janine. I open the floor for discussion. Any questions or comments for the Audit Committee? Anyone? No? So I close the floor for discussion for the Audit Committee. Next slide. Yeah. We have the motion here. Let me see. Okay. So the motion reads the 59th EPSA General Assembly accepts the Audit Committee Annual Congress Report 2019-2020. So I open the floor for discussion on the motion. Anyone? If not, I can close this one, I guess. Yeah, technical, Mihai.
Hi, President. I close the floor for discussion.
So the motion reads: the 59th EPSA General Assembly accepts the Audit Committee Annual Congress Report 2019-2020. I'm drawing the line, and you put your vote. I'm drawing the second line in a second. If you didn't vote, please vote. Okay, we have 24 for, so the motion carries. Okay, next we have the election of the EPSA team, and first we have election of the executives, starting with the president, but we don't have any wait. Sorry, now we have the motion for the reports of the executive. The motion reads: the 59th EPSA General Assembly accepts the following Executive Annual Congress Reports 2019-2020. President, Vice President of Internal Affairs, Secretary General, Treasurer, Vice President of Education, Vice President of Public Relations, Vice President of External Relations, Vice President of European Affairs. So I open the floor for discussion on the motion. 9.15 proposed by Ioana, Phosphor Romania, and seconded by SHSFD. So, yeah, since it's a 9.15, you need to tell us your idea how to. Yeah, Phosphor Romania.
Yes, one of SFL Romania, I would like to propose to discuss the report for Secretary General in a separate motion.
Okay, I see SHSFD agreeing with the proposal of Phosphor, but I would like to hear a consent again. SHSFD.
Moita Slovenia. I agree with Ioana. We would like for Secretary General report to be voted upon separately.
Okay. So I've opened the floor for discussion on the procedural motion 9.15. Any comments or questions for 9.15? Technical, Mihai?
Then I close the floor for discussion, Mihai, President.
Okay, so now we are voting on the 9.15. So the motion, anyone against for the procedural motion? I am drawing the line here, and you vote for the 9.15 for this motion.
Oh shit!
Whose microphone is that? Moika, close your microphone. And this is the GA, so please watch your language. I'm closing the voting with the second line. Okay, we have 11 votes for, 12 votes against, so procedural motion is not carried. So we are continuing the discussion on the motion. Still, motion itself. Anyone? If not, we are, Mihai?
Hi, President. I close the floor for discussion on the motion.
So we proceed with the voting. The motion reads, the 59th EPSA General Assembly accepts the following Executive Annual Congress Reports 2019-2020. President, Vice President of Internal Affairs, Secretary General, Treasurer, Vice President of Education, Vice President of Public Relations, Vice President of External Relations, Vice President of European Affairs. So I'm drawing the line for the voting, and you put your vote there. I'm missing one vote. I'm putting the second line to close the voting. We have 21 for, 2 abstentions, so the motion carried. Continue with the agenda. I'm passing the facilitation to Duarte. Oh, no, first, I'm not passing the facilitation. We have the coordinator's report. Sorry for that. 9.15, Moika. But, like, you can't, yeah, Moika, you can't do that, sorry. So, the next Okay, for the 9.15, first I need to open the floor. So I am reading the motion. The motion reads, the 59th EPSA General Assembly accepts all the following coordinators annual Congress reports 2019-2020. Events Coordinator, Alumni Coordinator, Chairperson of the 43rd Annual Congress, Educational Affairs Coordinator, Public Health and Social Services Coordinator, Science Coordinator, Training Coordinator, Design Coordinator, Information Technology Coordinator, Publications Coordinator, Social Media Coordinator, Mobility Coordinator, Central IMP Coordinator, Professional Affairs Coordinator, Policy Affairs Coordinator, and Grant Coordinator. So I open the floor for discussion on this motion. 9.15 proposed by AFEP Austria, seconded by PPSA, Poland. So I open the floor for discussion on the procedural motion. AFEP Austria.
Marlene, AFEP Austria. We feel, since a lot of concerns and discussion has been raised about the report of the chairperson of the 43rd Annual Congress, that this should not be in the motion, but voted upon in an extra motion.
Okay, I need to consent. Okay, PPSA also agrees with that separation. And the floor is still open on the procedural motion. If anyone, clarification, Moika, with the Slovenia.
Mojca Šesveda Slovenia, first I would like to apologize for that before. I would like a clarification. If we want to vote separately on another coordinator, should we put 9.15 now or after we are voting on that motion? Okay, thank you.
So, technical? Mihai?
Yes, Mihai President, just to clarify for everyone, if you want a report voted separately, you need a 9.15 for each of the position, because each position has a different reason why you want the report voted separately, and you need, yeah, as I said.
Anyone else? Any comments or questions for the 9.15? If not, Tita? Mihai?
Mihai President, I close the floor for discussion on 9.15.
So we are proceeding with the voting on the 9.15. So I'm putting the line here, first line. Please put your vote on there for the procedural motion 9.15. Anyone who didn't vote, please. Yeah. I guess we are done. And I am closing the voting with the second line. So we have 23 for and 1 against. So the procedural motion is not carried. I still have the floor open for the motion itself. Oh, but wait. Yeah, the floor is still open for the motion itself. Oh. Technical Duarte.
Ask you to pass me the facilitation because you are stopping a lot and it will be easier.
Okay, I'm passing the facilitation to Duarte.
Okay. Can you hear me properly? Please? Okay, so I will.
Duarte, you are dropping.
Continue with a new point from Anna. Can you speak from here? Okay, a new point from Anna, and then Shusasufudu.
Anna, training coordinator. I believe Shosisafada's point will probably agree with mine. I would like to ask for my report to be dropped. I would also like to explain why, because I would like to change the report. It will be a minor change in a paragraph on the TNTs. Due to small misunderstanding with Shosisafada, I would like to change a couple of words on that paragraph to make it clear. I will also send my amended report to Mina today to share it with the LSS as soon as possible. Thank you.
Shusasufudu.
Mojca Šesezada Slovenia. Yes, as Anna said, we were in contact with Anna and we would like Anna to amend the report as there is quite some information included that is not correct regarding the 15th TNT that Šesezada was supposed to be host. Thank you.
Thank you. In order for this to happen, we need a 9.15. Oh, it's already there. Okay, sorry, I forgot. I didn't follow that part, so I will ask now to APEF.
In APEF Portugal, we agree with this, and the reasons are the same Mosca already said. And sorry, I pronounced her name wrong.
Okay, thank you. So now I will ask. I have 9.15 from CSSFD, seconded by APEF, and we now understand that it's to separate the report from the training coordinator. I will ask Mihai to close the floor. Mihai?
Mihai, President, I close the floor for discussion.
Okay, I will draw a line on the chat, and you can vote on the procedural motion to separate the report of the training coordinator. You can vote now. Okay, we had 22 votes for, 1 no. As I explained, we need to write the word right, because if not, on the against or abstentions, we can have problems. So the 4 with 2 R's, it was no. And the motion was carried, so I will ask Mihai to take the training coordinator from this motion, and I will now proceed to that one. Okay. The 59 EPSA, sorry. We are still, this discussion is still open, so do you have any more points to add? Mihai?
Mihai, President, I close the floor for discussion.
Okay, so I will read the motion. The motion reads, the 59 EPSA General Assembly accepts the following coordinators' annual Congress report, 2019-2020, Events Coordinator, Alumni Coordinator, Educational Affairs Coordinator, Public Health and Social Service Coordinator, Science Coordinator, Design Coordinator, Information Technology Coordinator, Publications Coordinator, Social Media Coordinator, Mobility Coordinator, Central IMP Coordinator, Professional Affairs Coordinator, Policy Affairs Coordinator, and Grant Coordinator. With this, I will draw a line on the chat and you can vote. I have 24 votes for. The motion was carried unanimously, and now we will proceed to the next motion. I will read the motion. The 59th EPSA General Assembly accepts the following coordinator annual reception report, chairperson of the 43rd Annual Congress, and I now open the floor for discussion. I have seat.
Yes, by this I have a statement on behalf of the AC20 RC. We strongly ask the LSs to accept the report. Unfortunately, it's only today that I got a call with Bernardo regarding this, but no such coming during the team meeting or afterwards. It's really hurtful and disappointing for us to see such things in GA without prior internal discussion to reach a common ground. We have the feeling that the executive is only pointing fingers at us and is giving the RC the devil role. I already answered the point addressed by Mihai and Eva. Also, by rejecting this report, you are also rejecting the work of 15 people dedicated these 2 last years to make of this event the best event we can have. All what is written in the report reflects exactly what happened and no more. We are here asking to respect our right to speak in order to improve the situation. I, as chairperson of the AC20, is in the EPSA team, and here I felt not to be supported at all, but my team, the EPSA team. By accepting this report, you will definitely...
We cannot... We lost you like a few time ago. 30 seconds around.
Can I repeat from the beginning?
No. We lost you after... You can continue after Eva and Mihai's statements and the internal discussion before...
Yes. By rejecting this report, you are also rejecting the work of 15 people dedicated these 2 years to make of this event the best event we can have. All what is written in this report reflects exactly what happened and no more. We are here asking to respect our right to speak in order to improve the situation. I, as chairperson of the AC20, is in the EPSA team, and here I will not be supported at all but my team, the EPSA team. By accepting this report, you will definitely act in order to avoid this kind of problems the EPSA executive has with several RCs, not just us, these last years. You will also allow the new RC to continue the work for the AC21 in Lyon on a good mood and with serenity. Thank you.
Thank you, Sid. I now have AFOP.
Marlena, AFOP Austria. I will try and be as precise as possible. Firstly, we would like to state that rejecting this report. Firstly, hello? Can you hear me now? Okay. Firstly, we would like to state that rejecting this report means in no way that we are not appreciative of all the work the RC has done. And SLS and AFAP has continuously showed their support and appreciation for all the work that RC has done. Our reason for rejecting this report is that for us, there are parts missing. That with all the procedures and measurements taken, and this could really help future RCs and also the future of EPSA. Therefore, this is not an attack against the RC, just an extensive addition to the report so that it reflects how it really happened. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And now I have Annette.
So Joan, ANEP France. So we want to say that ANEP is really disappointed about this whole situation. We can see that this mandate has been full of back and forth and miscomprehension. And unfortunately, these mistakes or attitude that started from last mandate are still in cause now. Therefore, we really want to urge the current EPSA team and the future one and EPSA members to start on fresh ground with the future RC. Thank you.
Thank you. I have Mihai. Afop.
Marlene, Afop Austria. Accepting or not accepting this report has no influence of how supportive we are of the next RC. And we believe that it would help the next RC to have all the information, and also not only the next RC, but also all the futures RCs, to have all the information of what happened and how it was solved primarily, because problems can be stated, but the important thing is that also those measurements taken to solve the situation should be implemented in the report.
Thank you. I now have Mihai. Did you drop? No, I have Mihai.
Yeah, President. Yes, I want just to maybe clarify, or because I did not understand why Sid said that he's not feeling supported by the team, as this is a proposal from the members, and it's the vote from the members on the report and not from our side. And as I said before on my statement from the executive, as I said, we are very proud of the work of the RC, and we acknowledge the fact that the communication was not the best. However, we felt that there were some not proper language used in the report that we feel that needs to be changed. That's all that we said. Thank you.
I have now Sid. Yes, I said that. I have to answer to Mihai. I said that because basically this is the feeling going from after my update in the point, where I was not aware at all of these statements by both the last RC and the new by the last team and the actual team, and this is basically what we call not supporting at all, waiting for one member of your team to be in front of the GA to say all what was said. I'm so sorry, but this is not the feeling of being supported here. And for me, this is to be splitted with what Marlene said just before, because we are here in two separate problems. Even if from my point, it's another direct to Marlene, I will come back later.
Okay, yes, we will back, but this was a new point from Mihai. I didn't have a direct from Yossi to Marlene's point. And now I will take a direct clarification from APEF.
In APEF Portugal, I would like to clarify if it's possible for the chairperson to have a final report, even though there is no event, but at least to have the opportunity to report the whole situation. And now we would just ask him to point the things from the AA 99 until now. I don't know if that is possible. I'm just confused. Sorry. Thank you.
I have a point of information from Mihai.
Mihai, President. No, it's not possible. As I stated before, it is possible to have those statements from all the RCs in the final report after the event is done. So all the RCs of all of the members that were part of the organizing committee, to say so, during the event, can have their statements in that final report after the event, even though they were not in the last RC that was part of the event, to say so. I hope I made myself clear.
I have a point of information from my side. If you want to ask for a report, you can do it over a motion for this to be done. And I will now have a direct from Bernardo. Oh, no. Yeah, Bernardo.
Okay, Bernardo VPIA. This was at least two of the options that I today discussed with Sid. So one of them is for you to propose for him to write a final report for the AC20, so that he can address for his report for the 50 meeting to address only from AA to the 50 meeting, and then he would write another report for the full extent, like a final report just for the AC20, or to have him again just write the report for this 50 meeting from the AA until now, and write pre-report, so documents with all of the information that he had from the beginning of the RC until now, to be taken into consideration for starting as soon as he writes it, and to be added to the official final report of the AC21, so that this information is collected all in the same place and in the correct place, which would be a final report. So I would propose these two options at this point.
I have Sid with a direct, and then I have Apple.
Yes, my direct was to Mihai and also to the whole situation. Let's say it like this: from our side, since our event is cancelled, we really want to have a final report, and that's why that's what I tried to do with this report, with the fifth team meeting report. I completely understand that with the torso articles, etc., maybe some things has to be tackled in the final one, but please take into consideration that our event was cancelled. But please don't forget also all the work we did, and let us have the possibility to express ourselves as we want in the final report, maybe if it's not in the fifth team report. And in this final report, we will explain even further all the situation to be even more constructive.
Thank you, Sid. I now have a direct from Apef.
Inês Apef, Portugal. So my direct was about the options that Bernardo said. If I would like to ask Sid if he feels comfortable about it, and then I had just answer these, and I will put the clarification on the chat. Sorry.
You just hate the one?
Okay.
Yes, from our side, yes, for sure, we would be completely comfortable about it. The comments stated by Marlene would be taken into account, but the only thing we would not be comfortable about it is to have a kind of censure with people asking us to not put what happened in the report, because we really want the report to be as exhaustive as possible, explaining all what happened.
Okay, I have a clarification from AFOP, a kind of what? Okay. Sid?
Yes, a kind of censorship, censoring, like saying, no, you cannot say that, yes, you can say that, no, we can have that, and no, we cannot have that, because I don't want just to say thank you, and at the end, just forget all what happened. I really want to tackle all the problems and the solution given to these problems, as you asked just before.
Okay, thank you, Sid. I now have a point of information from Bernardo.
Bernardo VPIA, this option that we are now moving towards a positive note, it still includes not accepting the current the current report. So we'll only write about the AA from the AA until now, so that afterwards we would have the final report, and I would also afterwards ask Duarte what would need to be done from the member side to propose to have a final report for the AC20.
Okay, thank you. Bernardo, do you still have the new point? Drop. I have Mihai.
Hi, President. Thank you. Yes, I just want to clarify on one thing again. It's not that we want you to write something in a nice way. The statement that I had was about keeping a constant thing for the report, because at the beginning you say that everything was a source of problems and evaluation, and you talk about contradiction, but then in the end you say that we had a good collaboration, which is not like very constant, and also about the language that you used, and I'll quote here, keep hammering, like this is not a language for the report to be stored in the archives. This is what I was addressing. Again, we are not against you saying how you felt and how you think the collaboration was. We just want proper language used.
Thank you. I have seen.
Yes, regarding the language, honestly, I don't really see this kind of harmful language. We are just talking about maybe 1 or 2 words in 20 pages report, so I'm not completely comfortable with you saying that all my team have wrong words, etc. And after, yes, and this is why this report is meant to say that in the beginning, yes, if I feel that everything done by ourselves, and I can, if you want, put the annexes with the emails, etc. But I think that this is pointless, honestly. But if you want, it's a possibility. If we feel that in the beginning everything we were doing was just perceived by some people as completely wrong, I can attach the email. So please, for this, I will remain with the same story, because it's the story we had. And after, I just want to ask, in that case, regarding the points you reached and Eva reached, I already answered regarding ISGP, external portfolio, deviation, the 60th AA, etc. I already answered to everything. So
I have a point of information from Eva.
Eva HLM, I would just like to stress out that the statement I made on behalf of my team said nothing in regards to the content of the report. We just wanted to present that there is a second point of view to the whole situation, and also present this other point of view, since the report is going in the archives and we believe the full picture should be available. But if anything needs to be discussed further, as we said, we are very available to discuss the situation, and if any improvements are needed, again, we are very available to do it, even though we already tried to do the improvements.
Sid?
Yes, and the RC is also very available. We were available and we will remain available to discuss anything. And basically this what not happened before this GA, because you all wait for this GA just to fire us kind of in front of everyone, instead of just approaching us. But I don't feel the need to continue to talk about all these kind of things, unfortunately.
AFOP?
Marlene, out of Austria. There have been concerns raised as soon as we got the report, when you look at the questions for the 50 meeting. Sorry, can you hear me now? I'm screaming. Marlene, AFAP Austria? Okay. As soon as LS has got the reports, there has also been concerns raised from the member side, just to clarify.
Thank you. Do I have any more questions? 5.3, it's not a procedural motion. Okay, if I don't have any more questions, I would ask Mihai as the chairperson. Yeah. Oh. Okay, Sid with a new point.
Yes, I just want to say that we are completely comfortable with what has been proposed. To have, if proposed by the LSs, a final AC20 report where we would be happy to share our point of view, maybe to discuss it with the PC if they feel that we are not consistent, as said before, and to release a new fifth team report with all what happened between the AA and now.
Thank you. Do I have any more questions? Yes, Mihai, you can go.
Yeah, Mihai, President, I close the floor for discussion.
Thank you. I will now read the motion. The 59th EPSA General Assembly accepts the following coordinators Annual Congress Report 29-2020, Chairperson of the 43rd Annual Congress. I will draw the line and you will be able to vote. So we have 3 votes for, 17 against, and 4 abstention. The motion was not carried. So now I would like to ask AFPOP to specific say what they want to change, because this is the procedure that we have in Torso, that now it's specifically needed what needs to change on the report. I know that we already discussed this, but to be clear for everyone, as AFOP was the one proposing. Yeah, 4-4, yes. Marlene, AFOP.
AFAP Austria, I would like to ask member associations to help me out if I'm missing something, if it's possible. I would like to firstly have the report only include the time frame from AA 2019 till the 5th T meeting, and that's all. I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure what should be stated now. Should it be more?
Annette?
Maeva, Annette France, to complete that, maybe you can add to have a review by PC before submission, so we prevent, you know what I mean. Thank you.
Okay, I will just pass the facilitation to Mihai PC because I will intervene now as parliamentarian and the facilitator cannot intervene on the discussion.
Thank you, Duarte. So first of all, I have a direct from Sid.
Yes, it was just to say that we would agree with the fact that the PC just review my report before the submission.
And now I had a direct from Duarte that I see was dropped. Duarte, do you still have the direct?
No, I have the direct. The drop it was for Dylan because I'm in Dylan's computer.
Ah, okay, sorry, Duarte with the direct.
Can I go?
Yes, Duarte, direct, please.
Okay. PC doesn't feel comfortable with this because it is mostly on the timeline and on the wording. The wording is evaluated from the members. We cannot evaluate what is aggressive or not, or what is this part. If you want someone to review, I would ask the executive because they also felt comfortable. They said that, and if they feel that if it is aggressive or not, they will see. We can evaluate on the timeline, not on the wording.
Okay, next I have a direct from AFOP.
Marlene, AFOP Austria. Can PC or someone then help me please with the wording?
I see Mihai typing, so I'll wait a bit. I have Mihai, the president, with a clarification.
Mihai, President, what do you mean by wording? You just need to state out what you want to be changed in the report, and that's it. You don't need any special wordings or something. If that was.
AFOP Austria with a clarification.
Marina, AFOP Austria, but with the thing that exec should review on the, I don't know how to phrase it, appropriateness of the words, if you know what I mean. Do I also need to put this in there, or I'm not sure what it all should entail?
I have Sid with a direct.
Yes, just to express the artist's point of view regarding the exec reviewing everything. And I have to say, I just saw that Bernardo feel comfortable to do it, and I have to say that we are not comfortable with seeing Bernardo doing it. I am here, Sid, as chairperson of the AC part of the portfolio of the VP Internal Affairs, and as said before, I didn't feel supported at all by my VP and the rest of the executive. And as said before, we really stress the fact that we don't want to have any kind of censorship regarding what we would say. And when we all see the statements of the executive, we can feel from here that I will not be free to say everything I want.
I have a new point from AFOP Austria.
Marlene of Austria. I will try this again. Sorry. I would like to have the report to include all the things that happened. I don't know. Beginning from AA 2019 until the 5th P meeting, and then have all the exec, not only one person, to have a look because of the appropriateness of the language, since I trust the exec.
I will pass the facilitation back to Duarte.
Thank you. I have Sid right typing. Okay, I have Mihai with a new point. Okay, sorry Mihai. Sid, you can go with the direct.
Yes, yes, I would go with the direct just to Marlene. Since all the reports are just reviewed by the member, isn't it just possible to keep it as it is now and to have it reviewed by the member at the end? When I hear you, I really feel that I'm here as a subordinate who is not even able to write a report. Today I'm 26 years old and I don't feel the need to have someone reviewing what I am writing. Maybe I used one or two words. You felt it as very strong. I can change it. There is no problem. There is no problem with the wording for sure. But honestly, after what happened today and after all the statements, I can and I stress the fact that the RC would not feel comfortable at all to have this report reviewed by the executive to avoid any kind of censorship. And just to remember, to do all this, we are doing all this just to move forward with EPSA, and we are not doing all this to waste the time of anyone. If we want everything to be written in this report, is to be able to move the things forward and to avoid what happened today. And we can see and we can feel from the statement we had from the executive that maybe we are not all sharing the same spirit here.
I have AFOP.
Marlene Austria. Just to clarify AFOP's motivation, not my personal, but AFOP's motivation to include this is that because it came up during the discussion right now, and therefore we would feel that this would be appropriate since it was a wish of the members as far as AFOP understood it.
APEF.
Inês Apet, Portugal. I believe we are going in circles now, and I believe that we all understood that AFOP wants the chairperson seat to just put the things that happened since AA 19 and about the wording. I guess then we can vote on the report with the changes. So there's no need to be on circles now and discussing this.
Thank you, KNPSV.
Yes, thank you. Eline KNP's from Netherlands. We are just wondering what concrete points does AFOP want to change, because I didn't hear like the concrete things, only that you want to hear the period it's written in, but not concrete things.
Okay, thank you, KNPSV. It was a new point. The AFOP, in order to make it clear, because we cannot hear properly, can you type? Yes, of course. Thank you. I will read the comment from AFOP. We want the period to exclude everything that happened before the AA, I think so. This will be covered in the other report, and then special all the procedure that happened with the ESEC NPC emergency meeting. Sit.
Yes, as stated before, we are completely fine with proceeding like this and having this fifth team report, excluding everything happened before, and maybe to write that in another report, and to be even more exhaustive with the emergency meetings and all what happened.
Thank you, Sid. So now I will proceed to the next point. Okay, I will read the motion. The 59th EPSA General Assembly accepts the following coordinators' annual Congress report 2019-2020 training coordinator. I open the floor for discussion. Okay, SSFD.
Mojca SSFD Slovenia. In the report, it says that Anna, is investigating with the host possible dates, etc. However, we were not aware of any of this, as we weren't approached by her after the day we announced and sent her an email about the cancellation of the event. Therefore, we would like for her to amend this part when 15th TNT is mentioned and where she implies that we are the host.
Anna?
Anna, EPSA Training Coordinator. As I would like to point out to all LSs, as I also pointed it out to Mojca as she approached me before, I did mention this to the organizing committee of the 15th TNT. However, after that, no reply followed, and this conversation was somehow forgotten until the report. As I already mentioned before, I have already sent my amended report with that specific paragraph to Mina, so she should be able to share it anytime soon. Thank you.
Pasfere.
Yes, one of SFR Romania. We would like to take this opportunity and also please ask Anna to make another amendment, a little addition, in line with the sense of responsibility towards future generations, because highlighting the importance of having clear and transparent display of how things worked throughout this half year, the good and the bad, would be very important for us. Because it is important for future training coordinators to know how to attend to all trainers' needs and ensure good and timely communication. We would like Anna to amend her report with a section where she would elaborate on the communication issues encountered on her side, like maybe the outcomes of trainers board meetings not being provided or being provided late, or promises of hangouts which didn't happen but could happen more often in order to keep the trainers pool more united. And a recommendation for future generations to be able to better handle it and avoid frustrations on any side, if she agrees with this. So just a general recommendation on communication and transparency.
Thank you. Anna?
Anna, Training Coordinator. I do believe this is a matter to be discussed during handover period and not to be included at this point in the change of the report, as in the report are mentioned like procedural stuff, when to start planning events as such.
Marco?
Marco, Vice President of Education. Perhaps one more thing to add is that Anna and I, we already talked about the trainers board and some division of the tasks and restructures inside in regards to this. So we really wanted to tackle these during the handover period and address these kind of things because the report was reflecting on the past period in general, and there are some more, as I would say, palpable recommendations and things that should be kind of in a clear way set, especially that with the mandate and tasks are raising significantly. So we want to address this in the best possible way during the handover too.
Fede?
Yes, Juana, first, Romina, sorry, I think I have a little bit of delay. Thank you, Michael, for providing this explanation. We also agree with communicating this stuff during handover, but we would really appreciate if we could see a statement on how transparency is important in the report, which is far more accessible to future generations, and it would help a lot if it would be still written somewhere, not only transmitted during handover.
Anna?
When I'm EPSA training coordinator, I will make a statement in the report.
Do I have any more comment on this motion? I'm not seeing no one typing or questions, so I would like to ask Mihai. Mihai?
Hi, President. I close the floor for discussion.
Mihai, can you repeat?
Hi, President. I close the floor for discussion.
Okay, Duarte has a bit of a technical problem with his internet. I will be taking over the facilitation as he stated in his technical. The floor is closed, so the motion reads as follows. The 59th EPSA General Assembly accepts the following coordinators' annual Congress.
Mihai, you can go.
The report of the training coordinator. I will draw a line. And please state your votes for, against, or abstain. I will wait a bit more for anyone that did not vote. We have 23 votes. We have 1 vote for, 23 against, and no abstention. It's 24 voters. Motion was not carried. And we can proceed to the next point of the agenda. Duarte, can you hear us? Can I pass the facilitation back to you?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I pass the facilitation back to Duarte.
Okay, now I would like to have Chairperson with the technical, and please can you complement after with the specific point that you would like to change, and also Fede. First, Chairperson.
Muito obrigada, Slovenia. Yeah, that was my technical. So I would like due to COVID-19, I'm citing now. Due to COVID-19 outbreak, we had to postpone the event. The possible new dates are being investigated with the host and considering the evolution of the current situation to ensure the safety of the participants and trainers. And then the part, therefore, and considering the 15th TNT will happen probably late summer. And once the COVID-19 situation stabilizes and we are allowed to organize it in-person events, we will follow up with EMSA and the host and will continue the organization of the 15th TNT. I think that's all.
Thank you. Fasfere.
One of SFR Romania, we would like a statement from Anna regarding how important transparency is, including when reasoning obvious stuff.
Thank you. We will now proceed to the next point. Okay, now it's the elections of the EPSA team 2020-2021. I will have a technical from Mihai.
Mihai, President, I've passed the chair to Duarte.
Thank you. I now have a clarification from Sid.
Yes, I followed all the discussion, but just to know what do I have to do with the reports? Write a new one, from when to when, from where to where, including what, etc. Please.
Okay, APEF.
In APEF Portugal, I intend to liaise with the PC after the end of this GA session, and I intend to do a motion asking you to do a new report, and then I guess I will propose it to the GA, and after if it's approval, the PC will talk to you. I don't know, maybe PC can ask, but I just want to show my intention to make a motion about this.
Okay, thank you. I will explain everything. So, Sid, you have like both. You have a statement from Marlene, what she wants you to change on the report. And that discussion we already have, Sid, so sorry, we will not repeat this. And you have there what you need to change. What happened is APEF already, yes, from AFOP, sorry. What will happen, APEF already show the interest of present a motion for you to present a final report as if you had an event the same that you would have to do. So it will be a final report with everything that happened since the beginning of your election. And then on this report, from what I can read from AFOP comment, is to write everything since the AA to the AC. And I will proceed with this point with the elections. If you need further clarification, we can talk after the GA. Okay, I will proceed now to the next slide, please. I think, yeah. First is the election of the president. We didn't receive any application to this position, so I will close this point. No, I have the president typing. Mihai. No, okay. So I will close this point and I will pass the share again to Mihai.
Yes, thank you. So we will end the day here. And tomorrow we'll start with the elections of the executive at, as you can see, at 5 CST. So please be there on sharp, and also you have time to still read the applications. And yeah, that's it. Just one second. Okay, then I'll ask Mina to do the roll call.
Okay, thank you. I will draw a line and you need to put a Y on the chat when Mina say your association.
AFOP Austria, VPSA Belgium, SAFOM Bosnia-Herzegovina, BPHSA Bulgaria, CPSA Croatia, SUPSA Cyprus, USF Czech Republic, ANEP France, BPHD Germany, HUPSA Hungary, IPSA Ireland, LPSA Latvia, KMPSA Netherlands, MPSA North Macedonia, PPSA Poland, APEF Portugal, FAST for Romania, NAPSR Serbia, SPSA Slovakia, SHSA Slovenia, SEF Spain, SNAP Sweden, ASEP Switzerland, UPS International Turkey, BPSA United Kingdom. Okay, we have 23 voting members present.
And I suspend the standing orders. Thank you.